Hello YouTube, today I'm going to be reviewing my new HDR-CX190 Full HD 1080p camcorder. I picked it up from PC World for $199.99 in store, but there's a £30 cash back, which means you're getting a Full HD 1080p camcorder for $169.99, which is not bad. So today I'm going to go through my first impressions. I've only had it for a couple of days. So I'll go through what you get in the box. I've already unboxed it, so it's not an unboxing, but I'll go through what you get in the box and what comes with it, what doesn't come with it, the pros and the cons, and hopefully you'll get a good idea of my impressions of it. First things first, here is the box. Simple thing, and you can see there's a nice picture of the camcorder there. On the side it's got some little boxes with the main features of the camcorder, which I'll run you through. First of all, it's got a 30x extended zoom, but I think it's a 25x optical zoom on it, because as soon as you enter the extended zoom, i.e. the digital zoom, picture quality suffers massively. It gets really pixelated and it's no good for anyone. You've got steady shot, which is always useful, obviously when you're not using a tripod, which in the case of a handy cam like this, which is compact, small enough to fit inside the palm of your hand, you're not going to be using a tripod very often, so steady shot, very important feature. It's got something called XMOR CMOS sensor. Now that's meant to give you decent recording in low light conditions, and it has like an auto mode, which you can turn on and off obviously, but that basically changes the camera to the correct settings. It senses what you're filming and what's the best mode. So if you zoom in on a small object, it'll automatically turn like the macro type function on, so you get decent recording of close-ups. It's got obviously the face recognition malarkey as well. Now, as I said, I've already unboxed this before, so I'll just take you through quickly what comes in the box, what you get for your 200 quid, take away 30 quid cash back. You obviously get your European information manual. You get an accessories brochure to remind you to buy the extra battery. You get this thing here, which tells you to download, or it tells you about the software that Sony provide for you to download to use with the camcorder, like basic video editing, sharing software, and tells you to register online. Most of those things, to be honest, most people don't bother doing, and neither do I. The manual, operating manual, from what I've seen, it's pretty simple, so we'll go through that later. In the box, you get the mains charger, which comes with like a UK 3-pin plug. Now, the thing to notice with this is, even if you do decide to buy extra batteries, the charger is obviously not external. The charger is built in on the camcorder, so you plug the camcorder in either to the mains or to your computer via USB, and that will charge the battery. So even if you do buy multiple batteries, kind of annoying that you'd have to charge them both in the camcorder before you go out, so you've got two batteries in case you're doing like a lot of filming. So that's something to note. You get the UK plug, like I mentioned, and you get something which is a bit silly considering it's a HD camcorder. They provide you with a composite video cable to connect to your big screen, so you can record in HD, but you're going to use a crappy composite video cable. Not likely, bit annoying, but to be honest with you, most people do that. And I know that Sony, I don't know if they still do this, but when I bought my PlayStation 3 years ago, again, it came with a composite video cable, not even a cheap, basic, shitty HDMI cable. It was a bit silly considering you bought a PlayStation 3 to watch Blu-rays, etc., which you can't do on composite video in HD resolutions as far as I'm aware anyway. Anyway, that's digressing. Now, to get to the unit itself, here it is. Really nice, compact little unit. There's the battery. I'm not going to try to take the battery off in case I, don't remember how. Can't be bothered. I'll show you the screen. It switches itself on and off depending on whether the screen's open or not, so you can see that. And it will give you a nice little warning if it reckons that it was in standby mode at the moment. But if I switch it on and it tries to switch itself on, it will tell me that it reckons maybe that the cover is on the lens. So as you can see, it's not an external lens cover. It's got one of those little sliders which closes and opens the lens cover. It feels a bit cheap, but then again, I think, to be honest with you, the whole unit doesn't feel super high quality, but it is only, like I said, £200. A few years ago, you would not get even a poor brand camcorder for that kind of money. So now that you're able to buy a Sony camcorder for that kind of money, yes, it is very basic, and I will go through the pros and the cons of it, but you've got to bear that in mind during this kind of overview. Now, the first thing that you'll notice is it is very, very basic. So, you know, like I said, you'll open up this screen, you'll open the lens cover, and you're now ready to start filming. There it tells you that you've got which mode you're in. So you've got film mode, and then the other mode, if I press this button at the top, is still picture mode. So just pressing between that just switches between film and picture mode. Now, just above that mode button, so if I show the camera, there we go. It's not going to work, is it? Well, that's the mode button there, which allows you to switch between camera and video. There's the photo button, and on the back here is the record button. So that's pretty much all the buttons on the unit. The only other buttons are actually located next to the actual LCD screen. You've got like a little push button, which is also a joystick, which in my opinion is a really nice way of navigating through the menus, which I've got to say, for a basic camcorder, are beautifully made. The GUI or user interface is really nice. It's slick, it's very self-explanatory. You don't need to read the manual to work your way around it. You'll be setting the image quality and the manual modes that you want, for example, whether you want autofocus on or off, or whether you want really high quality or not, or whether you want the white balance, etc. It's very self-explanatory, and you just navigate through all the options using this stick, and you'll be fine. The button below it is a playback button, so you can just see what you've recorded, and it has like a little display which you're going to struggle to see really, and that allows you to play back the files that are stored on the camera. Now, first things to notice, it doesn't have a hard drive, it is SD card, so you will be recording onto an SD card. I've just stuck in an 8GB card, which on the highest quality, which is 1080i, so bear that in mind as well. It's a 1080 camcorder, 1920 by 1080 camcorder, but it doesn't record in progressive frames. It's an interlace. It'll record it in 1080i, so interlace. So it's not quite got the. Again, that's a feature that you'll find on a more high-end camcorder. And now, recording in the highest quality, it will record 43 minutes on an 8GB SD card. Which for me is ample. You know, I don't necessarily like making massively long home movies. This camcorder will record 44 minutes in its best quality, going all the way up to something like 300 and something minutes on the long play mode, which I haven't recorded in. I don't really have any intentions of recording in either. Now, getting down to the nitty gritty picture quality. Sorry, I'll stop opening and closing it because it makes that silly noise. The picture quality is decent. It's not noise free. It hasn't got the best sensor on it. It's not the biggest CMOS sensor. You know, you're obviously going to have to pay for a better quality lens, better sensor. You know, those things cost money. But for the money, for the £200, and bear in mind the £30 I'll get back, so 170 quid. I would find it difficult to fault. It records very well. The mic on it is very good. Again, there's no allowances for you to be able to clip on an external mic as you would, or an external light as you would on a more high-end camcorder. But I didn't buy it for those, you know, for those extra features. I bought it because it was the cheapest, best value camcorder I could find. And you know, I've got to say that as long as you're aware of its shortcoming, it doesn't record in progressive, it's interlaced 1080i. The fact that it has to record on an SD card, there's no onboard storage, and you know, you can't add an external light, you can't clip an external light or an external mic to it. as long as you're happy with those things, you know, you shouldn't really have any issues. Obviously, the other thing, just in case I haven't mentioned it, you do record using the screen. There is no viewfinder on there, which might irk some of you out there, but again, for me, I can't complain. So bearing that in mind, I would say this is a very solid product and well worth £170 of your money compared to what else is out there on the market in that kind of range. Build quality, as I said, is a bit plasticky, but I found even looking at camcorders costing 3 times as much, you know, it's still a bit plasticky out there. I think everything's now made in China. Very few things are going to be made, you know, to last. So bear that in mind. And overall, I would say it's a great camcorder for the money. I would say that it's like a solid 7 or 8 out of 10, probably closer to a 7. But I'm very happy with it. So thanks for watching my initial reactions / review of the HDR. Yep, it is. Yep, HDR-CX190 camcorder. By the way, I was filming this using my HD 1080p life cam, which actually only records in 720p, takes pictures in 1080p. So just to give you an idea of what I've used to record this, I'm actually quite impressed with this webcam, and I might even do a video about this at some point. But thanks for watching.